Okay, this is the best I can find. It's a chart from J.P. Morgan's silver holdings and his silver stockpile as of about 8 months ago, but it goes back quite a ways. It goes all the way back to about 2011, and the amount of silver that J.P. Morgan's got, his silver stockpile, and it gives us a good idea. Because if we extend this chart out a little ways, we can kind of figure where he's at right now. And by the way, I'm looking right here at the chart. I would say he's at around 100 million ounces. You can figure whatever you want. Now, if you try to find it on the internet, and you'll find all different kinds of figures. Some people say he's got 1 billion ounces. Some of them say he hasn't got nothing. He hasn't got nothing, they say. And other ones, a lot of them say 400 million. A lot of them say 500 million. Some say 550 million ounces. But here's the chart right here. J.P. Morgan Chase depository of silver. Total J.P. Morgan Chase silver stockpile as of 8 months ago, 75 million ounces. And I did some digging this morning, and I came across another figure from a year earlier of 68 million ounces. So I think we're getting in the ballpark here with this chart. So now, how much silver he's got is not really the biggest issue. The real big issue, and he's got a lot of silver, 100 million ounces, that's a lot of silver. That's not the real big issue. The real big issue is what's going to happen. What's going to happen, and what is he doing now? I'll tell you what I think. I think that physical silver demand is outstripping supply. J.P. Morgan wants to get in there for as much of it as he can without creating a shortage. And so he's dipping in to as big a piece of pie as he can get without creating a shortage. And what he does is, every time he dips into that pie, you see the price go up up like from the 17s into the 18s, and even maybe head toward 20, trying to go up. That's when J.P. Morgan's dipping in for his piece of pie, and he's not taking he's taking the physical. He's taking the physical and putting it away, and so his holdings are going up and up and up. And then what he does is, after he starts to get the price up a little bit, the price starts to head up toward $20. Then he smashes it with the paper. He uses the paper to smash it. Smashes it down to where he gets it to where he wants it. Then he starts to buy again. And then the price starts to creep up again. This is the game he's been playing. Well, he can play this game until the silver starts to run out. But that's what he wants. Because then he's going to shift the other way around. He's going to turn the table then. And he plans on exiting his position, and he probably plans now, knowing these bankers, knowing how greedy they are. They're awful greedy. They don't take up a position like this, like he's taking up a large position. They don't take up a large position like that unless they plan on making at least a 10-bagger. And what I mean by a 10-bagger is they plan on making 10 times their money back. And that's what they're planning here. So if he's price averaging, getting it in, let's see, he started way back in 2011, and so he didn't buy that much into 2012. He really started buying in April of 2012, going by this chart here. That's when he started buying in earnest, in April of 2012. What was the silver price in April of 2012? Anyway, he has to cost average, you see. And it shows, by this chart, shows he was buying really heavy when the price was really cheap. He was packing it away. Like in 2015 there, he was just packing it away, back when the price was down cheap. And so his cost average, is probably in there, maybe, I don't know, I'm going to guess maybe $18 or $20 or something. So if he plans on making a 10-bagger, he wants to get $200 an ounce for his silver. Now, we've talked about what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's packing it away, and he's hoping to make money. He's doing the same thing as all the silver stackers are doing. They're not stacking it just to sell it for what they paid for it. None of them, unless they're foolish. They're all planning on making a profit when they sell. So when the silver shortage hits, and there's going to be a silver shortage, a physical, when it hits, it's going to end when the price gets significantly high enough where the people who have the silver will sell back into the market again. And they'll end the shortage, because then there won't be a shortage anymore. Because it's not a shortage as in there's no silver. That's not what it is. It's a shortage as in there's no silver to buy. It's not a shortage as in there's no silver. That'll never happen. I can't see that happen anywhere in the near future. A shortage where there is actually no silver, because people have silver stored away. All these people out here, there's stackers galore all across America and everything, all buying eagles and everything else. Millions of them. They got silver. It's just that the shortage is going to be there's none for you to buy at the cheap price. Oh yeah, if you want to plunk down a 10 times the price of what it is premium, there'll be silver for you. If you're willing to pay any price, there'll always be that. You'll always be able to buy it if you're willing to pay any price. So these guys will sell back in, and I'm sure that J.P. Morgan's got the same idea. He's doing the same thing. It's all these guys out here that are stacking. He's doing the same thing right here, except he's bigger. He's the biggest stacker on earth at 100 million ounces. He's the biggest stacker on earth. That's what he is. And, okay, you want to know when to sell your stash? If you got a stash, sell it when J.P. Morgan sells his. But here's the thing. You say to yourself, he's got 100 million ounces. What'll happen when he sells his stash? And this is what's been going through my mind. When he sells his stash, what's going to happen? Now, I've been putting a lot of thought into this, because it's really a complicated one to think what'll happen when he sells his stash. And there was a time a while ago when I thought it might be a wipeout. He might sell his stash and he might wipe the price down, bring the price, but I'm starting to think different now. I'm starting to think that when he sells his stash, his 100 million ounces, that he's not going to wipe down the silver price. I'm thinking now that this silver is going to be so big, such a charge, people are going to be in to get it. It's going to be in such great demand. I think that they're going to blow right through what he's got. I think it's going to blow right through it. I think he'll knock the price down a little bit for a little while, selling all 100 million into the market. But I think the demand's going to be so great, I think it's going to just grind right through what he's got and keep her going up after. He might slump her down a little bit, but then after he's sold it all, then she's going to start to roar back alive again, go back up higher than ever. I don't think he's going to kill the market with that. I think that 100 million ounces he's got is going to blow right through it, and they're going to buy it all up, every drop. And then maybe he'll be sorry for selling it, because then what'll happen is he won't have it anymore. He'll have the dirty old paper, and that's what he always wanted anyway. J.P. Morgan has served him right. All he'll have is that dirty old stinking paper, and it's going to become just as worthless as Weimar Germany when they had wheelbarrows full of it. And they can all it's good for is burning in your furnace. It's like cordwood. It's garbage. And that's all it'll ever be, is garbage. It's not real money. And the reason why is there's other economists who talk about how you decide if money is real money or not. And what they do is they have what they call aspects of money. Well, I've boiled the aspects of money down to 3 main aspects. One is fungibility, meaning that your currency is equal to any other piece of currency. So like if you haul a $5 bill out of your pocket, it's equal to any other $5 bill. So you can trade that $5 bill with anybody else, and your money's equal to theirs. That's called fungibility. That's the first aspect of money. The second aspect of money is a store of value, meaning that you can put it away for 5 years, come back and get it, and it's not going to be disintegrated. See, you can't use apples for that. If you tried to use apples for a store of value and you stored them away for 5 years and you come back and all you got's a big rotten pile of apples, they're all rotted. No, so the paper currencies, they cover those first two aspects of money rather well. But so does gold and silver. In fact, if anything, gold and silver cover those aspects even better than paper. But paper covers the first two aspects of money. Now, there's a third important aspect of money, and that's limited supply. Now, paper covers that aspect too, provided that the government that is creating the paper money does not take advantage of their power. They don't abuse their power to create, and they don't create too much. That they're the ones who limit the supply. Because ultimately, it's an unlimited supply if the government wants to go hog tie wild. If they want to add zeros to their bills, like in Zimbabwe, and they want to start running that press day and night, they can print as many units of money as there are leaves on the trees. That's the power they have. So if they abuse that power, then the money doesn't cover that third aspect of money anymore. And it fails. And that's why you go into a hyperinflation. Whereas gold and silver are forced to cover that limited supply aspect because they are limited in supply, and there's no way that you can abuse the power to overcreate unless you start to create ETFs and all these paper gold and silver, all this SLV and GLD. Then you can start to abuse it. But you still can't abuse the underlying physical. And so that's where we're at right now. And so that's what's going on. And we're heading toward a crisis. And I believe that when this crisis actually does really hit, and everybody and their dog is going to panic and want to get into hard assets, hard money, real money, God's money. That's what they're all going to... And I've heard some people describe it... one economist describes it as Niagara Falls trying to squeeze through a garden hose. That's the pressure that's going to come on gold and silver. Everybody's going to want it. And I think that there's going to be so much pressure that it's going to push right through J.P. Morgan's. And if he wants to sell at that period in time, if he wants to sell it all to make himself a nice, tidy profit because he's greedy and make his 10-bagger, then he's going to be stuck with the 10-bagger and he's not going to have any silver left because they're going to buy it all. They'll buy every ounce he's got. In fact, they'll probably buy every ounce he's got in one day. All gone. Empty his vault. And it'll be in the hands of somebody who has a strong, firm grip on it and not going to let go. Okay, if you like what I got to say, like and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next article. Bye.